All right, thanks for picking back up with me and watching this second part. The first video I just recorded was more of an unboxing of the Raceland coilovers. Let me see if I can pan this camera around. But I have them all laid out here. In that unboxing video, I kind of just unboxed it, showed you guys, how they look and what was going on with them. Pretty much, I think they'll fit the needs that I need for my suspension, but I'm gonna show you guys why I'm changing my coilovers. I mean, this car is a 2000, has 135,000 miles on it. I got it with 123,000 miles, and the right rear shock has been blown since I've owned the car. But the ride now is so messed up that you hit a bump and you're wobbling all over the place. So rather than waste money on AutoZone's struts or max peating rods, I just went with Raceland. A lot of people seem to like them for daily drivers, so that's what I went with. Just want to show you guys, if you look at the suspension here, I'm good, how are you? It's one of the neighbors there. So yeah, if you can see all of the buildup and moisture here, that's the oil, that's the shock oil that's leaking. So you can see it's a severe problem, so we're going to go ahead and address that in today's video. The video is probably not going to be as put together as some of my other videos. I'm just going to kind of be picking up the camera as I start here, and you guys can just follow along and skip ahead as you need to. The only part I'm looking out, or not looking forward to, should I say, is going to be the rear, because you do have to take out the complete rear interior of the car, the seat belts, the speakers, so on and so forth. So I am going to start with the front, and let's get to it. All right, guys, so step one of this whole thing, I'm going to assume everybody knows how to safely jack up their car using jack stands or a lift or whatever method. So I did not film the most obvious, easiest part of this whole thing, jacking the car up, making sure it's secure, and of course, taking all the wheels off. So one difference that I found in what I'm doing versus what Raceland suggests on their install video is they suggest that you have to remove the entire caliper bracket plus the bolt for the tie rod, which is right here. So I actually started doing that, and then I realized you don't have to do that. So my video is only going to be this driver's side, and then I'll do the driver's side rear as well. And you should be able to reinstall the new coilover the same exact way in the reverse order as you took the old strut out. So essentially, you'll start with the longest. Let me find it. There's a bolt here. One side is a 17, the other side is a 19, and it goes straight through this bracket here. That's the bolt that actually loosens the strut from the knuckle, if you can see that space there. And so you'll see it drop in a minute. You'll also want to take off your sway bar end link. That goes in the top hole here, and that also is a size 19, as you'll see here. So right now we've only removed 2 bolts, as you can see. Next, you'll come up to the engine bay, and you'll want to remove your strut mount bolts. These are 13s. So I've already previously loosened these up for the video purposes here. So make sure I don't lose that while recording this. That's one. Let's see. That's 2. Make sure I don't lose this thing. Oh, thank goodness it didn't fall far. Well, I know where that one is, so I'll get it in a minute. And then we have 3 right here. So I'm gonna put this down, and you'll get the vantage point from down here. Let me see. All right. So I'm just applying some up pressure because I already, like I said, I already had all this loose before I started recording. That's 1, 2, and I got my other one here. Last nut. Went ahead and recovered that last nut. So as you can see in this assembly, hold on, we're already loose. Already loose. And I think you just saw the strut drop back down into the knuckle. So I don't really see a need for the tie rod to come out or the caliper bracket to come out. So I'm actually gonna put my tie rod nut back on, but I'll do that in a minute. But I want you to see me pull this out without those extra steps. So let's see, all right. So next, you just step down here on the rotor and the hub. Step down enough for this to bend out to clear the fender liner and the wheel well. And you don't want to scrape your fender up, so just keep applying pressure. Hold on, here we go. Push down, come out, twist, and you're out. When I've been telling you I've been working on this for 10 minutes, so Raceland's video is great for the front so far, but they have some unnecessary steps in there. Again, you can leave the caliper bracket on and you can leave the tie rod on. You do not have to take that off at all right? I think they might have wanted you to remove the caliper bracket so that this brake line doesn't have a lot of stress on it, like you can see. I'm not gonna have this out for long, so it really doesn't matter. And as you can see, if you push it forwards, it relieves some of that tension on that line. So that's it for the first video, or at least I'm gonna pause it here. And then I'm gonna come back when I'm reinstalling the coilover, just so you can kind of see how it fits in to the hub here. I mean the knuckle, how it fits into the knuckle. So be right back. All right, so I just want to do a quick comparison. As you can see, you know, that's the OEM strut versus the Raceland. This Raceland has a little, looks like a spacer or something to fill in, or excuse me, for the bottom of the shock to rest on that knuckle. So yeah, and then one thing we have to do is we'll have to take this top hat off and put it on to our actual new coilover here. So, you know, there is a right way to do this, and I don't have the tools. I didn't plan on doing it, but essentially you will need a spring compressor. The spring compressor you can rent from AutoZone through their loaner tool program. I think it's 50 bucks, 80 bucks, something like that. It'll compress this screen down, and I'm sorry, it'll compress the spring down, and you'll be able to relieve tension off this so that it doesn't separate under pressure. I don't have the spring compressor. If this is anything like the Hondas I used to do when I was younger, we're just gonna hit it with the impact, and we're gonna face the strut away from us. I'm not gonna do it here in the garage, I'll do it in the grass. And then essentially we're just gonna hit it with the impact, and the spring pressure will actually separate the strut for us. So that's what we're gonna do. And then again, we'll take this off, move this over to this top hat. So we'll have to undo this because this will be our new nut. You see that nut in there, right there. So this will sit on top of the plate. The nut will secure all of this, and then this will be now our new assembly ready to install. All right, be right back. So this is a size 21, and I'm gonna use an impact wrench. Again, I have this faced in the grass, so if this is anything like the Hondas that I've done, it will, you know, the pressure will shoot the strut off. So let's see, here we go. Again, this is not the recommend, actually, hold on, is this 21? Oh, sorry, it's a size 22, I'll be right back. Sorry about that. Size 22. Size 22. All right. This was the only downside to Raceland, is that they don't provide and that's it, guys. That's literally it. So we just need this part. I'm gonna actually throw some grease back in there, because this does spin, as you can see, ball bearings. So I'll clean it up, put some grease on it. I think that washer looks like it was underneath here, or on top. Yeah. All right. So let's see. I'm not sure if I need this piece just yet. I do know I need this piece, so. Oh, well, I do know that I don't need this piece, because this is the same width as the OEM spring that we don't need. Alrighty, so that's the end of this part of the video. You will see it as I put this back on the Raceland coilover. So Raceland provides a washer. This washer was right here, but you'll see that Raceland already provided us a washer. So all I'm gonna do is take that washer off. Well, let me compare their washer, by the way. Okay, exact same size, so compare that, put it on here, like so, and we're going to add our new nut down here. I might have to lower the coilover, let's see, yeah. I'll have to lower the coilover down in order to access the tip of that nut there. All right. I'm doing something, buddy. So Raceland does provide a new washer. They are the same size. I just happened to re-grease my ball bearings as well. I just used regular high temperature grease, no problem. Now we just really need to stick this in here, and then we got to get enough, either get the spring compressed enough to give us enough thread so we can start that new bolt. Let's see if we got it there. Yeah, so we're started. So I'm probably gonna have to use an Allen wrench because it is just spinning, but you guys get the idea. That's how you transfer your top hat over. All right, be right back. So I was able to get this nut on. So Raceland states that for this classic style coilover, somehow you're supposed to use a wrench to hold that nut, and an Allen key to counter turn that so you can tighten the nut. I don't have a wrench that drops down, that low to be able to secure that nut. They also mention on their instructions that not to use any tool of any kind on the actual shock body, because if you do, it's going to automatically void the warranty, because any tool marks such as channel locks or stuff like that can basically damage the seal on the shock, because if this isn't smooth as it goes down, it'll cut that seal up and cause it to leak. So what I did was I have a microfiber cloth. I wrapped it 2 times to ensure that I don't have any damage on it, and I slipped it in there. And then I used a channel lock to basically grab the piston, the shock piston, which does not create any blemish because you have this acting as a buffer. And then I was able to use the impact drill there to get it down. So that's essentially it. At this point, it's really not that difficult. I mean, so far the install for the front hasn't been too bad. So we're just gonna put our cap back on here. OEM cap, and then we're going to reinstall it into the vehicle. Let me get my camera set up so you guys can be a part of this. And then I'll be done with the front, guys. I'm not gonna record both sides. I mean, if you can get one down, you can definitely get the other side down. So, let me see, first part here, we're gonna slip that back in there. I don't know if I'll be able to do it one-handed, but we're gonna try. Slip that back in there. Okay, so it does look like, I thought this was gonna be more like a spacer, but looks like the entire shock body is gonna slip down into here. And then we're just gonna push this down and around. So I'm gonna put you guys down and just follow along with me, okay? All right. You know what? I think I'm gonna have to spread the knuckle a little bit. That's no problem. Just take a flat head. And we'll, oh, you know what? I have a pry bar over here. Because it does look like this is thicker than the OEM one. So I'm just going to spread this a little bit. And make sure it slips all the way in there. Yeah. There's a, let me show you. So there's a lip down in the knuckle here. So what it looks like to me is that's where this part, that bottom part right there, is gonna rest. So the skinniest piece is gonna go straight in the hole, and then this thick piece is actually gonna sit in the hole in the knuckle. Try to use some, I got some PV blaster here. Might try WD-40, see if get something to just lubricate that up as you try to squeeze this in there. Yeah, that worked. That worked. So that's in there like it's supposed to be, right? And then now we're just gonna go here. I'm gonna use a jack to help me jack this whole assembly up so we can secure it. Oops, sorry guys. All right. I want to make sure you guys note as you're getting this, one side of that top hat has two little nubs on it. So you want to make sure that's lined back up here. All right. So I'm going to go ahead and end the video here because, I mean, it really is that simple. You got your 13s you're going to put back here. You got your 19 and you got your one long bolt here. So just to recap, super easy install process. Raceland, you do not, their video suggests taking off that caliper bracket and the tie rod. You do not need to do that, as you just saw. Thanks for watching. I will probably make a video after I get everything installed and adjusted to the ride height that I want, but I will definitely do a video of the driver's side rear. Thank you guys for watching. Hope to see you soon. Bye-bye.